Hey, witches, grab your goat. Get some dinosaur repellent, maybe practice up on your martial arts because it is time for the Witches Movie Coven. Yes, witches, real witches, talking about witches sometimes in movies. Yes, this week we're not talking about witches. Why? Because it is Courtney's birthday. She chose this lovely film, so you'll know who to curse at the end of the night. My name is I am I am one of your hosts. I'm going to pass this on so soon. You might know me from the witch. From, well, this, which is Movie Coven, from my regular The Witching Hour, or from Ghost Adventures, or from Bathroom Walls Across America. I am honored to be here with my four co-hosts. The regular crew is here, but let's start with the birthday girl, Courtney. Welcome and happy birthday!
Why,
Woo!
thank you. Thank you so much. That's me, birthday girl, and gift giver extraordinaire, because I've brought this movie to you. And I would like to say this is witchy. This movie is witchy. They did tarot. There was a whole mystical person in this. That's why I picked it, other than the fact that it's one of the greatest movies of all time. So you're welcome.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. That's right. There was tarot. Okay, I take it all back. Richard Lale.
I am Richard Lale. Richard Lale is one name, not two. If I were just Richard, I would be a. That's right. I am known as the gentleman psychic. I'm a psychic and a medium. I used to be a psychic and a small, but I gained some weight. Thanks, New Orleans. I am well known in the paranormal world. People are ringing my phone off the hook, this side and the other side. Psychic medium, Ghost Adventures, University Magicus, Scared and Alone. I'm really easy to find. I'm a little bit of everywhere.
Yes, thank you. Jason.
I'm Jason Mankey, Llewellyn author extraordinaire, author of 10 books. Tonight, I'm pimping The Witch's Book of Spellcraft because it has information on protection magic and how to reverse hexes, which I am going to receive as we speak about this movie this evening.
Thank you. Oh, foreshadowing. And last and never least, almost our fearless leader in so many ways, Heather Green.
No, I am Heather Green. I am the author of Lights, Camera, Witchcraft. Right on the screen there. Here it is. It is a critical history of witches in American cinema and television, and it does not have this movie in it. I also like to hold up Dollcraft because I did write the foreword in it. Don't worry, Jason. My next edition will contain this movie just for Courtney. And
Okay.
because I did write the foreword for it and was the editor. I am an editor at Llewellyn Worldwide. I did not work with Jason, but I worked with Patty and many other wonderful Llewellyn witchy authors. I am also a journalist, and I cover all things occult in the media, and I do other things as well. And I'm so excited to be here on Courtney's birthday to honor her with her favorite movie, a discussion about her favorite movie. And there's two reasons why I'm really excited to talk about this movie, and you will find them as we go along.
Well, hopefully, thank you very much. Hopefully you all watch them. And I want to say behind me is not Belle peeking out. That's my beautiful new doll gifted to me by Heather Green because she's me. She's me. She really is. She's a French floozy. She has my eyes and my hair. She's a little taller than me. Anatomically correct. She's amazing. So thank you, Heather. She might be moving around. We haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, hopefully you guys all watched this movie. I watched it today. I did. I finally got to it today. Somebody should have told me I should have been high for this. You guys,
I'm pretty sure at some point I've mentioned that.
no, that's hard on a weekday. Usually that's a late night thing, but just saying. But hopefully you guys all watched it. Just in case you didn't all watch it, Richard Lale, do you have an unbiased synopsis of this
I
film?
certainly do. I will try to be as delicate as I can be. It is like Jurassic Dexter. So the story is a priest who obviously is the parish priest of a very poor church because he's dressed in polyester. He comes out of church like a 5-year-old boy trying to get in the car with his parents, who die in a tragic accident that turns out to be a murder. And in his grief, he decides to go to China, where he is skewered by a magic dart that gives him the magic power of turning into a velociraptor. So he comes back home. He comes back home and finds himself involved in a church scandal. But don't worry, this church scandal is with a woman who is of legal age and is also a doctor, lawyer, prostitute. They're not as popular as one would think, by the way. And then they find out that he is, in fact, this sort of VelociPastor, and he goes on a killing spree after being with this woman, and then they chase down drug kingpins and kill pimps and defeat ninjas with the mind and the sword, and then cured, but his hands kill the drug pin Chinese drug lord. And there's a sequel, and I will say I love Courtney so very much. I love Courtney so very much. I love Courtney so very much. I question how much that she loves the Witches movie Coven. However,
Oh, wow, the gauntlet has been thrown.
that was the story.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Hail Richard Lael. And even though it isn't in your beautiful book, Heather, do you have 5 things we need to know about this film?
I actually have 6 for this one. Can you believe it?
Yes.
That's some digging.
That it didn't take much digging, but I think they're fun. First of all, the basics. Let me get to that. First, it's a 2017 release, and then more broadly in 2018, directed, written, and produced by Brendan Steer. Its budget was about $36,000, and it was started as crowdfunding, and then eventually an investor came in and funded it completely. So that's your basics. Now, the origins are pretty interesting. So apparently, Brendan was typing in Velociraptor, probably going to watch a good not Stephen King.
Might as well.
Watching one of the Jurassic Park movies, typing in Velociraptor, and wound up with the autocorrect VelociPastor. So that is what gave him the idea. And then what he did was he was doing a film project at SVA, and he made up a bunch of trailers for this kind of schlock horror. And one of them was VelociPastor. And it got more hits and more interest than he ever thought. So he decided he was going to try to make it into a movie. So started the crowdfunding. It took from 2011 to 2016, finally, before they got the money. And they made this wonderful movie. So number 3, let's talk about the director, Brendan Steer. He was a graduate of SVA Film School in New York. He's a big Del Toro fan, which you probably can see in his style. I'm actually kidding there. But we're getting to one of the reasons why I love that we're reviewing this film. So he did, like a lot of schlock and low budget directors, you usually get a long list of really great movie titles, like we had with the Ouija Shark, where it was just one great, phenomenal schlock movie title after another. He does not. He has not done a whole lot. He is younger than that director, but he did a short that got some awards in 2015. He did his film school thesis, went on a tour. It's called Animosity, 2013, and it got some awards. He wrote Outback Dracula. I don't have the year on that. And of course, he's most known for VelociPastor and the upcoming VelociPastor 2, which I'll get to in a second. And this is one of the reasons why I'm really excited to share this movie, is because he was also apparently, allegedly, one of the mascots in one of my all-time favorite movies, Hundreds of Beavers, by Mike Cheslick. So the fact that I could say Hundreds of Beavers and introduce that movie to y'all, then that is making my joy for the night. I have passed that on. That's one of the 2 reasons. So he is now living in Pasadena with a cat named Cheddars. And you can find pictures of Cheddars online. The other interesting thing about him is he's never been paid as a director yet. And he's looking forward to
I
that.
couldn't imagine why.
There it is. Hundreds of beavers. If you have not seen this movie, you must, and you must sit through it. It is phenomenal. So anyway, the actors. We'll pass that. We'll move on that. The actors, most of them are known for VelociPastor. Gregory James Cohn, who played the pastor, VelociPastor, Alyssa Kempinski, Daniel Steele, Fernando Pacheco Castro, I don't know if I pronounced it, Jesse Church, all of them are known for this movie for the most part. They've been in a few other things. Voltaire is the tarot reader. He is a musician, mostly from Cuban American. And Claire Sue, the Chinese woman who dies, she actually was in a movie called You Were Never Really Here that won awards at the Cannes Film Festival. She is the only actress that's made headway as far as the festival circuits and awards. So that takes me to one little quick reference. Doug Jones, the name of our VelociPastor, is actually a tribute to Pan's Labyrinth. It is the name of the actor that plays in Pan's Labyrinth. He is the Pale Man, Fano. He also, if you don't know who he is the amphibian man in Shape of Water. If you have not seen Shape of Water, you must go see it. It's phenomenal. He was in also which movie connection? Billy Butcherson in the Hocus Pocus movies. So the name Doug Jones is a tribute to that actor. An interesting thing. And finally, number 6, which we've already mentioned, there is a sequel. It raised $118,000 after the cult success of the first one through crowdfunding, and it was fully funded. It's going to be directed by someone different, although with the help of Brendan Steer. It is in post-production, but there is no release date. I tried to contact the director, and I have not heard back. I was hoping that I would be able to hear from him, and that would tell us when it was coming, because I know that would be one of the best birthday presents we could give Courtney Bugley.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, who wants to begin with this lovely?
Shouldn't the birthday girl go first?
Yeah.
Yes, birthday girl should go first.
Hello. I'll remove my sunglasses for this. So I watched this movie. I tried earlier to find it, but this is the only review that I've ever left for a product online was for this movie. Because how do you make the funniest movie with dinosaurs, priests, and ninjas, and the best special effects literally of all time? Because car crash effects here is, so that plus the Walmart tie in the back priest Halloween costumes that they're wearing, and the paper mache dinosaur that we don't get to see in all of its full glory until the very end. But then throw in a Vietnam War flashback for absolutely no reason at all. I can't. I don't care how many times I've watched it. I'm screaming laughing the whole time. It's literally, I swear to God, it was one of the first stupid horror movies that I've loved. And do I like it better than The Killing Tree? I don't know.
You don't have to choose.
It's right up there. Right, I don't, because it's my birthday, so I can pick both. But just the like cover photo, like that they pick that looks nothing like anything that happens in the movie is the best. And I did know about the sequel because I contributed to the Kickstarter.
I should donate to the Kickstarter campaign to make it defunded.
Well, they had 2 actually. So the first one did not get fully funded, and I contributed to that one, so I didn't actually contribute to it. And then I missed when they posted the second one, because if you contributed to it, you get your name in the credits. And I wanted to be associated with VelociPastor too, and I didn't get to because I missed the second one. So there it is. But you know what? This movie brings me joy, and you're welcome, all of you, birthday Scrooges, because I brought you this movie, and it definitely is a witch movie. And a
Okay.
wolf movie. And a
It had
ninja
tarot,
movie.
it had tarot cards. It had tarot cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, I sat with my head cocked sideways most of the time.
Right.
And you get that it's schlock and you get that it's schlock horror, but like, where did that come from and why? And I just left myself speechless, which is not easy to do. This is the very best, worst movie I've ever seen. The very best, worst movie I've ever seen. I think I did one equally bad that never got released. I got to beat up ninjas in polyester costumes about as good as that girl did, about as good as he did. And we were in a clearing like that could be anywhere in the world. I have a few photos somewhere, but nothing else made it to thing. But yeah, it was early 90s when I did it. And this tops it. So I do thank you, Courtney. It was the best, worst movie. I just wish I was to watched it late at night with a cocktail and a joint and but I just got to say why a lot. And I get for funny and I get for schlock, but things just so it was over here and then it was over here, then it was over here, and then it was why.
But the thing is when you're going over here and over here and over here, it's all in the same yard. So it was the same.
Yes.
The same yard was the forest and China and Vietnam. It was the same backyard, someone's backyard, which is the
There was Vietnam in there too. I remember China.
Yeah.
For no reason, the other pastor is talking
Oh,
about.
that's right. That the flashback was Vietnam. The flashback, I couldn't really tell where it took place
because it was the same backyard.
Yes, it was the same backyard, but
Right.
Maybe that woman wanted to start a family who was murdered out there. I don't know.
Wings like that.
There he is.
I mean, Courtney, I hated this movie, but I will admit there were times when I was so befuddled I couldn't help but laugh. But also, while I'm watching the movie last night, my wife is in the bathroom, like getting ready for bed, and she's like, "This is not good acting." And she wasn't watching it; she was just listening to it, And some things you can just tell, right? Yeah, this was not mostly good acting.
Though I will say, I don't mean to tread on Courtney's favorite lines, but when the Chinese woman has the spear through her, and he says, "Are you okay?
Are you
She's
hurt?"
covered in- I did laugh.
Yep.
I did laugh at that. There were a couple of times I did chuckle, but I have a confession to make, Courtney. I tried to watch it. I watched almost all of it. I watched up until the last 15 minutes, and I was like, I cannot subject my brain cell to any more of this. And I turned it off, and I had to Google, how does this film end? And now I'm probably on some watch list somewhere for looking up VelociPastor. I'm certain of it.
I'm sure you.
Well, then
all
you and I
are,
are on
then.
the same watch list because I look up VelociPastor multiple times a week because I love this movie.
What's crazy is the movie completely changes in the last 15 minutes. All of a sudden, it's about starting a cult through superpowered cocaine. And you're like, where did this come from? But you're also not too surprised because the whole movie you're asking, where did this come from?
Right.
Over
And
here, though.
some of the best parts were in the last 15 minutes, like when the what's her name, Carol, gets sliced by the ninja, but it's a very superficial cut across her chest, and he's like holding her while she dies, and they're having their last words, but it's not even bleeding. It's just like a superficial cut on her chest. And then in the background of this very emotional scene where they're telling each other that they love each other, the ninjas who cut her are comforting each other and patting each other on the back because it's so very sad. It's so funny. And the whole dinosaur.
That was the time they could have killed both of them, and the ninjas just hang back, and they have 4 minutes of just superficial wound holding. I love you, lawyer Dr. Hooker, and it's just surprising. Go get them, end this. If you kill them now, the movie's over, and I get 10 minutes of my life back.
But so much blood for such a superficial, like she had eaten poison or something is what it looked like. for that.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud when right at the beginning when he goes after his first attack, and it's at night, and you don't see him, you just see teeth and whatever, and you hear the growling, and then all of a sudden this mannequin head goes flying past the camera. I'm like, oh my god, that's a mannequin head! What the heck? But I think
like
go ahead.
So I was just gonna say the paper mache costumes. Like the budget that you just said is wildly larger than I thought. Someone said in the comments like $36. That's what I thought. They they didn't even go to Spirit Halloween. They went to Walmart for their costumes, which is like the best part. Probably made the dinosaur costume in the very same backyard that they were filming in, which is the best. It's amazing.
The I have a kind of mixed feelings about this movie. It's clearly relax. I'm about to give you some praise. I think it's clear. One, he actually says, the director, that he wasn't trying to be serious, that this is supposed to be ridiculous. He was supposed to be, and that's very clear. He's using that kind of airplane movie type of kind of absurdity in jumping from things. He's not trying to make any of this make sense. And he says that some movies are just not supposed to have grandiose meaning. And I think that's clear. And what I think is interesting about him versus some of the other ones we've seen is I actually think he's probably a pretty good director. I think that once he gets a budget and can act and gets a good crew, and he probably actually will do big things, or he has the potential. Whereas other schlock directors, you see so many bad cuts and various other things, and the storytelling is just like terrible, like that you're like, okay, this is going to be a schlock director forever. I think this guy actually has talent, and I think that he probably, given a good budget, I think in given a creative leeway and a good budget, he probably could do something, far better than this. This is in the camp of a student film for me, and so it's going to be, and on purpose, it is schlocky on purpose. And what I do like about it is that he didn't try to cover up the fact that his budget was low. I mean, the comment about the car, what does it say? Yeah, car on fire. It's perfect. It doesn't have the money to do it right. It's going to look ridiculous. So why not just do it that way and make it funny? The flash, he obviously has also studied film, because the flashback to Vietnam was right out of it. I felt like I was watching Airplane, in fact, where he keeps flashing back to Vietnam randomly. I remember back in Nam, and then of course it goes back to these ridiculous story with things blowing up and stuff like that. So, and then when he does the whole scene between in Vietnam, between that guy and the other guy who wants to have a kid, and I'm thinking about my loved one. If you've watched enough army movies, if you watch enough military movies, the guy who starts talking about home first is dead in the next scene. It's always the case. And so I was like, oh, this guy's dead. And he's watched movies. I mean, Pan's Labyrinth he talks about. So I think this guy has potential. It is not your typical schlock director. This is not the Killing Tree director. This is not the dude that made Ouija Shark. This one, even though the movie was terrible, I feel like the guy has potential. So
I thought this looked like a movie in places where Ouija Shark doesn't look like a movie.
Exactly.
And when I was starting the film, I was confused because I thought, oh, maybe this does have some production value and some budget or whatever. And that you're quickly, like, that idea goes away. But throughout the whole thing, though, there were moments where you're like, oh, this is competent. Right?
Yeah,
like this could be something, and it never
quite
gets there, though, of course.
Well, I don't think that I think it's a silly premise. So, but I think it was fun that he saw it, and I think it definitely was. It was a good film school as kept, and with a director that has an eye for filming, and for filming. So I think I wish him well, and I hope he does some things that are,
better.
Like
VelociPastor too.
Electric Boogaloo.
And I do want to jump in real quick that I would like to know that he is alongside the people who made the last Jurassic Park movie, which was trash, and that had a big budget. So he's in good company with bad dinosaur movies. And that was the second reason I was really excited to watch this movie and talk about it, because I got to tell you how angry and horrible the last Jurassic Park movie was. Now I'm done.
I will not put on my sunglasses for that one because it was the most disappointing movie I've ever seen in my life. The newest Jurassic Park.
So this director is in good company with terrible dinosaur movies. Although people like this movie better than the last Jurassic Park movie.
There's a lot to like about this movie.
I will say I did like, and I didn't recognize who he was until our producer Rob was like, "Oh, that was Voltaire." And I went, "Oh, yeah, I love Voltaire." Voltaire did the seance. Here he is. Voltaire did the seance. He did the tarot cards. He was also doing sort of like this conjuring of this dark velociraptor spirit that sort of makes the pastor. And then I loved his sort of maniacal laughter that he was like, "Oh, yes." So, okay, I did actually like that part.
The maniacal laughter everywhere. Anybody who could get by with it. The little brother who was never accepted as the family. Like I said, this is the best worst movie I've seen. It stayed with me. But I think, and I agree with you, Heather. I think this guy probably can do some really good stuff. But what always bugs me is that the acting styles need to match better. Like the girl, the hooker lawyer doctor was in a different movie than everybody else to me. A little bit.
But Frankie Mermaid.
I thought she was a good actress, and I think
did
that's
too.
why. And I think that's why it feels like she's in a different movie because she could actually act.
Yeah,
I did believe her. I did believe her as an actor.
I did believe she was a lawyer, Dr. Hooker. I really did. I was like, I could get so much satisfied in 20 minutes with her as a lawyer, Dr. Hooker, but I also probably couldn't pay the copay, so I'm gonna have to pass.
Guys, I found my Amazon review that was written in 2020. If you guys would like to hear it.
yes.
Oh yes.
5 stars, obviously. The title of the review is, "This is a cinematic masterpiece." And I wrote, "I don't think it is possible to choose my favorite scene or character in the movie because they were all incredible. I was not prepared for how much I would love VelociPastor or how much I now want to travel to backyard China to meet an Australian ninja. The writing was amazing. The props and effects were genius. This was a fantastic time from opening scene to end credits. If there is not a sequel, I will probably throw myself on a samurai sword."
Bravo, Courtney. Bravo.
So I was doing this long before the Witches movie Coven because I posted that on Amazon, 5 years ago. So yeah, and that's the other thing is that I want to talk about the ninjas. How diverse the ninjas were, because there was an Australian one. They were all everyone was of a different race and nationality. So look at all that. How inclusive.
Little exercises. Oh my God.
All the split screen stuff was hysterical. I was
Yeah. When he was having that heart-to-heart with the other priests and they were sitting in the middle, facing each other, but then their giant faces were on the screen saying the same thing. Come on. It's so good. So good. I have so many quotes. It's ridiculous. The whole movie. The script was amazing.
So a question. So what card do we guess the other priest was waving while they were doing the seance? The priest was holding one card and he was waving it as Voltaire was doing his shtick. The priest was waving a tarot card like that. What was it? What do you think he was given to wave to bring to release the demon?
The devil.
They never said.
The devil was on the table.
Oh.
I was fixated on that. I'm like,
nice.
what is this priest holding? That's works.
Yeah, it was
The
so
Christmas
funny.
card, killing.
Yeah.
One of
Yes.
Pinnacle.
This ties it all together. This is the card, which means it's in the Killing Tree universe, which means that all of Courtney's favorite movies are tied together. Clayton versus VelociPastor in the third movie. Let's hope.
I would. The amount of money that I would pay for that is obscene, honestly.
I mean, to me, it's in maybe the
obsession.
I don't know, singles of dollars.
In the singles of dollars is wild.
Maybe up to $6, maybe even $7.
Wow.
Just for you, Courtney. Just I would pay that much.
So much smoking. There's so much smoking for a modern movie, though. That was weird.
In the doctor's office was especially strange. Hey, I saved your girlfriend
from her very
do this right here. Yeah.
I think the one thing I thought was interesting too is that he was also pulling from werewolf lore. Of course, someone brought it up about the werewolf thing. You feel like all of a sudden I'm in American Werewolf in London, and here he goes turning. So you see that too. So this guy he pulled a lot in. So
and so
we'll
much more terrifying than any werewolf in London. I tell you.
A hunchback dinosaur. Oh my goodness. So totally
paper mache with solid. Great.
That didn't look like any VelociPastor out of on Jurassic Park. That didn't look like blue. But
I was just really confused by the exorcism via tarot cards. I mean, I know tarot cards are useful, but I didn't know you could use them to exorcise a dinosaur demon from the body. No. I really want that explained to me a bit more. Since you've seen this movie 15 times, Courtney, or more, can you explain how that works?
Well, when we suspend disbelief in the face of excellent cinema, anything's possible. All dreams can come true. So if you can stumble backwards into the tiniest branch in existence and somehow cut your hand on a dinosaur tooth and become a dinosaur, I don't think it's far-fetched to believe that with tarot cards we could do whatever we wanted.
Well, what card is he waving? I was fixated on that, Courtney.
Yeah,
I was fixated.
I don't know. maybe one of what card is for? Because I read Oracle, I don't read tarot.
Oh, okay.
So maybe something having to do with releasing. Which card is that?
I don't know. I'm just This is the deck that was on my desk. I'm just randomly picking cards, kind of like how this script was written. Just random thoughts pop into your brain, and you put them down, and you have a script.
I don't have my
deck.
I
have a new Oracle deck that is horror movie. The horror Oracle with Black Phillips on it. So let's see what they say.
Yeah, how do you think, Courtney, that the voting is going to go with your cards? What do the cards say about the voting? Will we be unanimous or shall we be
lies? So all of you that say you don't like it are lying.
Maybe it was the hangman.
What?
Maybe it was the hangman that he was waving to release the guy from the. I don't know.
That's a good.
I don't know. I kept watching him. I'm like, what's he doing in front of the candle with the card?
Yeah, I got lost on that whole part. Obviously, missing it was a witch.
Yeah. There it is.
That's a good one. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were using the Rider-Waite deck. I did know. It would look like the standard. The one time we saw it, actually.
It looks like the Rider-Waite deck you buy at Spencer's, a very particular Rider-Waite deck, given the back of the cards.
The budget.
I know that. Yeah,
right,
it was my first deck. I know it well.
Well, $36,000 went somewhere, and I think it all went to Voltaire. I think that's where it went.
He's the only one with the Wikipedia entry.
Is he?
Yeah.
Do you blame them?
Wow. All right. Well, you said you had a lot of quotes, Miss Courtney.
Oh, you bet I do. You bet I do. Please hold as I pull them up.
Grab my coat.
All right.
Okay.
Everyone just settle in for a while.
Hold up. So, of course, we have VFX Car on Fire, as we would. Then Doug is crying in the church and drinking the communion wine. And the other priest said, "So your parents died, Doug. It's what parents do. They die on you." There it is. They die on you. And then Doug starts going, why would God? Why would God? Then he tells him, go where you think God will not follow.
China.
Which is also someone's backyard. And then he screams, China is east, as he looks at his compass. And then, of course, as Richard Lale said, the woman literally has an arrow shooting out of her chest and covered in blood. And he says, are you hurt? And then when he comes back, I am hungry. I need air. I have to get out. And then he runs away and kills somebody. Or he's running down the street. And then there's the guy who's asking him for money. And he screams, I took the vow of poverty. I have no material possessions. And then Carol comes up to Frankie Mermaid, who's my favorite character. And she goes, I'm lit up right and hot to trap. Where do you want me tonight, Daddy-O? And he says, Carol, hello. And then I'm going to have to edit some of these because Frankie Mermaid's lines were inappropriate. But he says, what's my name? And she says, Frankie Mermaid. And he says, and why do they call me Frankie Mermaid? And she said, because you're swimming in witches. Which is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And then he yelled, and I'm going to edit this one too. He said, yo, Cherry, if you stuck Richards in your mouth like you're doing that sandwich, I'd be a millionaire by now. After he becomes the Velociraptor and Carol like brings him back to her house and they're talking and he thinks that they've done the do and she's like talking about when he was being the VelociPastor and she goes, honestly, I was so scared I think I even peed myself. And he goes, oh, was it your first time too? And then he said, what are you talking about? And she goes, the time you turned into a dinosaur and ate someone. And he says, I remember, some sort of nightmare, lust for the flesh. And then he screamed, dinosaurs never existed. And even if they did, I didn't transform into one. Carol says, firstly, I'm a hooker and did not want to be arrested. And secondly, you turned into a dinosaur and you ate him. And Doug says, you're a hooker? And she goes, and pre-med law, but people aren't surprised as much by that one. And then she tried to touch him and he screamed, touch not thy sinning hands, Jezebel.
Which, as an aside, Courtney, I will tell you, as a former Christian, I have to say that every episode, the Bible verses he was quoting were nonsense. I mean, that goes without reason.
What?
But also, according to Genesis 25:36, Jesus says, blah, 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 blah. I'm like...
Oh my god. Okay. So then she says, you think I like turning tricks to pay for college? There's surprisingly little demand for hooker doctor lawyers. Oh my god. And then Frankie Mermaid goes to give and he says, I guess we could cover the last four days. Stole candy from this baby. Then I threw the baby in the river so it couldn't snitch, obviously. Then I pimp witches. I do drugs, sell drugs, murder people. Really, you name it, I do it, Padre. And then he's talking about how he's like, I even blew up these people in a car in front of this church. And he's like, skin melting, skin boiling, kind of gave me a hard on. Add that to the confession too, Padre. Oh my god. And then him and Carol are having a moment and she says, I don't know much about God. And he says, I don't know much about dinosaurs. And then he says, I had parents once. What would my parents say? And what his parents would say is, we'll pick you up after priest college. When they go into the place to get the tarot exorcism, Doug says, where are we? And then the other guy goes, somewhere the church forgot. Sometimes we need evil to fight evil, Doug. And during the Vietnam flashback, he says you could have 5 kids, 11 kids. and I want you to spend 15 minutes a day with each of them. And then the girl is in the woods in Vietnam for no reason, and then she just explodes on top.
I think it's funnier while listening to retell it than it is watching it.
It's literally, I'm crying. That part, I had to pause because I was screaming out loud. Because he just stands there like this, like covered in blood for like 5 minutes. And they go, and also, I was watching with the subtitles, so it was saying who was saying each one. So there was small soldier and large soldier. It said, I don't think we can do anything for her now. She's too far gone. She's literally like soup. Like there's nothing. And then the other one goes, what do you think she was doing in the forest? And like large soldier says, I don't know. Maybe she was trying to start a family. So funny. Then they're back to the exorcism, and he goes, "Are you feeling anything?" And he says, "Anxiety." And then, oh my god, the amount of times that there was maniacal laughter in this movie. But he turns into the dinosaur, and then rips out the other guy's eyeball, and then they run away. And then the tarot guy says, "Now the hounds of hell are truly loose. What have I done?" And then maniacally laughs. And then we cut to the ninjas, which still, like, what is just the fact that there are ninjas is the best. But the ninja says, "Crikey, it's the Dragon Warrior," because he's Australian. And then they're discussing in Chinese or whatever they're doing the plans, and one of them, as they're like reading the thing, says, "I'm pretty sure dinosaurs." They're talking about they're gonna like corner him or do like something, and they're gonna climb in the trees, and he says, "I'm pretty sure dinosaurs can't look up." And then the other priest wakes up, and the one that's got his eye ripped out, and he's wearing an eye patch, but he's wearing it over his glasses, which is the best thing I've ever seen. And then can just suddenly understand Chinese because the kingpin guy is talking to him in Chinese, and he's responding to him in English, so he just understands Chinese. And then they said, "What is drugs?" He said, "What does drug smuggling have to do with Christianity?" "Everything." And he goes, "You cannot forcibly convert the unwilling. That's madness. It's inhumane." And then he took the arrow and he stabbed him with the arrow for no reason. Now, at this point, Doug has forsaken his vows. Him and Carol have done it, which means he can wear a leather jacket instead of his priest outfit because obviously it's like the Sandy treatment, right? Mm-hmm. Then they're fighting. The Velociraptor is there. Then Carol dies or dies from a scratch. The ninjas are comforting each other in the background, which is so funny. And then she dies, and now he's big mad, and this is the best one. And he says, "I believe in a higher power, but praying now will never save your lives."
The guy looked at his watch. The ninja looked at his watch in the middle of that.
And I wrote that. I wrote 10 minutes later after Guy checks watch on my phone. And then he stabs him. He does the whole thing. The kingpin guy does the whole thing about like the anti-venom or whatever, and he stabs him in the leg with the arrow to turn him VelociPastor anymore. And then he says, "Do you have any life?" And he goes, "Only," which was funny. And then it puts on the screen, "Only through the elimination of violence will we finally be able to achieve world peace." And then he rips the mannequin's head off. So, yeah, those are my quotes. Basically, I wrote down every single line in the movie. So
we didn't even talk about how the fact that VelociPastor's brother was one of the ninjas, right? And like that just is sprung on you in the last 12 minutes. And then, of course, we get more flashbacks, which explains empty seats and stuff, and it's always the brother in the background with the father saying, "I only have one son," which was funny,
From the
but
back
also
seat.
it just makes me wonder if I'm doing drugs while I'm watching the film, you know? Like, what did I do? Is this LSD laced? You know, did you take some mushrooms? Right? Like, I don't know. I'm just confused.
And he forgot he had a brother, you know.
Yeah, apparently.
And
Right?
Apparently didn't know what he
Something
looked
about
like
my
either.
blood is your blood. And then the sword,
Yeah.
the mind. My blood is your blood, sword mind thing.
Yeah. And I don't want to kill you, but the pastor's like, I'll kill you, brother. Boom, right? Like, yeah. I mean,
they
it's a new era.
Oh
It's a
my
new
God.
era of religion.
Well, we have quotes. Do we actually, Mr. Mankey, do we have a Mankey minute moment?
Of course, I did get you a card, Courtney.
Oh,
A little bird told me it's your birthday. So I replied, holy crap, a talking bird. Happy birthday. That's not the minute. That's just a card I pulled up for you, Courtney, because I love you.
That's amazing, and I love it. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, on that note, let me start by telling you all that I love Courtney Buckley. She is kind. She gets super excited about movies. She is funny. She is a wonderful mother. And I would like to say that she is the heart of this show. She's like emotional glue. But there's also no wrath on this show equal to the wrath of a Courtney scorned or a Courtney made fun of. So before I truly begin, let's do a few things. Extra evil eye bracelet. Maybe 2. Check. Van oil to keep the road open. Check. Confusing scarf so that you might think that I'm Heather Green. Check. Braying goat to deflect whatever comes my way. Check. So now, with my defenses up, let's talk about VelociPastor, a movie I accidentally started several years ago and turned off after the first 5 or 6 minutes. I remember it pretty clearly. My wife said, "You can't be serious," within the first 30 seconds. And after 5 minutes of watching VelociPastor, I completely agreed. I couldn't be serious because this was bad. When I started VelociPastor again yesterday, I was pleased to learn that Amazon Prime remembered my previously wasted 5 minutes watching this movie. I would not have to repeat them, which mercifully took the runtime down of today's film to a breezy 65 minutes, though it still took me 4 sittings to finish those 65 minutes. So often and urgent was my absolute need to do anything else. We've watched bad movies on this show before. Ouija Shark comes to mind. You will notice a theme here, too. These movies all come back to Courtney Buckley. Stay away. But Ouija Shark knew what it was. A very terrible movie made by people who are terrible at making movies and should probably not make movies. This is different from VelociPastor, which, for very fleeting moments, looks like an actual movie. I would say that even some of the people in VelociPastor, okay, just the woman who plays Carol, can actually act. This might be what makes VelociPastor so much worse than Ouija Shark. The movie would probably be better if it were more inept. Early on in VelociPastor, a car gets blown up, but there's no budget for blowing up a car, so you see some graphics that say VFX or something to that effect. That's funny. But we have to wait 60 minutes to see such fourth wall breaking again. There, the movie ends with a Gandhi quote as the VelociPastor raises up a decapitated and bleeding head. We also get a large graphic saying, "She's okay," when, spoiler alert, the pastor's lawyer, Dr. Hooker girlfriend, recovers from the wounds she received from the most inept ninjas in the history of cinema. Such inserts could have saved the entire movie if they had been done the whole way through, but that would have taken thought and comedy chops and all the other things that are missing from this film. The title of this film is also a lie, unlike Ouija Shark. In fairness to Ouija Shark, that movie had a Ouija board that summoned a ghost shark. VelociPastor has a pastor in it, but not a velociraptor. Instead, we get a chubby mini Tyrannosaurus Rex that looks like it came from the cast-offs at a yard sale. held by Sid and Marty Krofft. If you can't even be bothered to get the details of your dinosaur right, why should I be bothered to watch your movie in a timely manner? And remember, I am Heather Green. I know people who love goulash, even though I think goulash is pretty gross. But I'm happy when they get to enjoy their goulash. I am not a Taylor Swift fan, but I wish her and Travis Kelce all the joy in the world because Taylor brings joy to millions of people around the world. I am not a fan of VelociPastor, but I am glad it brings happiness to Courtney Buckley and probably 4 or 5 other people with most likely serious dinosaur and or pastor fetishes. On that note, let me say to you, Courtney Buckley, happy birthday and I love you.
I love you too. I'll have you know, VelociPastor has a 4.4 out of 5 on Amazon Prime. 800 and something other people gave it 5-star reviews. So,
well, that guy has a lot of cousins, you know. I mean, it happens.
He was interviewed in a bunch of pretty reputable magazines and sources and outlets. So it has some traction. I think he was very surprised by it.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a second one. I mean, that says a lot right there,
That
right?
says a lot.
I used to watch him, the guy, the priest dude in his priest costume, peddling the second one on TikTok live and talking all about it. And that's when I was trying to do the Kickstarter, and I like recorded it for a while, and I was so excited that there was going to be a second one.
The VelociPastor to me kind of looked like John Mulaney, and I kept wondering what this movie would be like if John Mulaney had starred in it. Like, it would be better, right? That just would have been funnier.
I don't think that they could have been funnier. I cried laughing. So
I cried.
There were a lot of tears. There were a lot of tears.
It could have been funnier.
It could have been
all
funnier.
Right. But on that note, it is time to vote. Everybody grab your wands. Wands up, wands down. All you people in the chat room, we love how much you have been involved in this and talking about it. So let us know.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, I'm watching.
No fear, Courtney. No fear.
Okay. So we've got down for Heather and down for Jason and up for Courtney and up for Richard Lael.
Mine is down. That's the handle.
Mine
is so far down.
It
is really down.
Because it was the best worst film that I've done. So let's see what the audience has to say. Down. Have wands all the way up. The ups are way up and the downs are way down. Throws wand in the air. Oh, go Tabitha! I watched it.
I think that's because Tabitha's throwing her wand in the trash can to make.
That's not what Tabitha says.
To make it further down. I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
That's not what's happening.
The downs might win a little bit, but they did not. They were not across the board. They did not. We had an up. I
would love if we could. I would just like accurate data on this as far as like numbers. Maybe we could post a poll on our YouTube because I would like to know. I would like to see it in cold hard facts in front of my face.
Those are not scientific.
Yep,
those
they
are
are
not scientific.
He has a lot of brothers.
I'm going to create 17,000 YouTube accounts because
Courtney is going to vote 17,000 times.
Right. Producer Rob, can we get on this, please?
Right. So, you guys, thanks for voting. Everybody, what are we doing next week?
We are doing The Conjuring 3 in preparation for the release of the next movie, which is coming out, I think, September 3rd. So we are doing Conjuring 3. We've already done Conjuring 1. And did we do Conjuring 2 on here? You can go back and review those.
Yes, we did.
But we'll do Conjuring 3 next week.
I'm so excited. I can barely contain my joy.
I can tell.
No, I am excited. My friends just bought Annabelle and the whole Warren estate. and people that first quoted on my book, so they know the haunted doll book. That's Elton Castell and stuff. So this, I'm excited. That much more connection to Annabelle. Yay! All right. Well, we have 5 more minutes. What do you want to talk about? Who's got something coming up that they want to talk about?
After watching this movie, my lunch.
Oh, boom! Courtney, we do love you. We do love you.
I put a spell
so
on
much.
you.
In 2 months, we have watched Ouija Shark and VelociPastor for you.
It is not my fault that I chose Ouija Shark as my birthday movie and we cannibalized it for whatever reason. And then I got to choose another one. And need I remind you, and I put this in the chat, Jason Mankey, that The Killing Tree was your choice.
It was. And I have no regrets. I love that you love The Killing Tree so much. And it has become one of the focal points of this show. So no, you know, I love that you love terrible movies. I think it's endearing.
Great.
You are hex. You are so hex, Jason.
Yeah,
I am, but I'm ready. I did all that stuff.
If you think it's gonna happen if you think it's gonna happen right now while you're expecting it, you're sorely mistaken, my friend.
The scarf didn't work, Jason.
I'll literally wait. I will wait until that little bottle is empty. And then
actually, I may change my birthday pick to something that is equally fantastic, just because Courtney put us through this. I have an idea. I'm not going to tell you.
Yes,
you better.
There we go.
Oh yay! Yay!
Everyone, please go to. Yeah, I'd love to know who I'm hexing. So please go to our YouTube page, and under posts is the.
And then vote down because it's really awful.
No, I'm going on and I'm voting up right now. So I can
Mystic Shield. No
Mystic Shield will protect you from the wrath of me right now.
And if anybody doesn't know where to get a Mystic Shield, Mystery Control. You could get all these fabulous quotes of Courtney, Richard Leal, Heather, Jason, and myself. You could get goats. You could get jewelry. You could get so many fabulous things. MysteryControl.com. You could look just like us. You can get Dollcraft right at Mystery Control, right there. You could get Heather's book. You could get Jason's book. Richard Leal and Courtney are still working on their books, but soon you'll be able to get their books as well. Oh, you can get the Little Devil pillow, and I can't say that the rest of us have one of those at all.
No,
I
we
do.
don't have pillows.
We don't have our own pillow. You have
like
a Little Devil
scared and alone pillow.
Did you ever open your Roomba?
No, I'm not opening the Roomba. It lives in its box and it wreaks havoc from in there. I'm not opening the Roomba. It's being kept safely in my house in its box. And that's where it will remain. With Dean's signature on it saying, it's haunted, good luck.
Thank you. All right. So we know we're doing next week Conjuring 3. Everybody, this week, if anybody's near Ohio, McConnellsville, Ohio, I'm doing a mediumship gallery and paranormal investigation at a very haunted old opera house called Cullen Snyder's Freak Show. Come see me. It's a freak show. And next week I'm going to be in Maine at Maine Paranormal and Horror Con. The next week after that, I'll be in Illinois at Rock Island Esoteric Expo. So all over the country, come see me. Maybe I'll bring my goat. What about you, Jason?
I am going to be at Northwest Pagan Pride in Spokane, Washington next week. And the weekend after that at Reno Pagan Pride in the biggest little city in America, Reno, Nevada. I will also, as always, have Black Phillip with me. Come and say hi if you live in those areas.
Great. Anybody else? Richard Leal?
Really easy to find, the Gentleman Psychic.
Okay.
I am going to be I'm going to be at Dragon Con on Sunday talking about the Wizard of Oz in a panel. I don't have the actual schedule yet because I am not running the panel, but I was asked to be on it, so I will be there. I believe it's in the morning, late morning on Sunday, so you can look at the schedule if you're interested to see me at Dragon Con on Sunday.
How far?
And I will be planning my very long revenge against Jason and Richard Leal, even though I love you both so much. Yep, see, look.
Wait, I have an idea. Courtney, I need you to breathe. I need you to right now. I just feel it. I just need you to breathe. And
I'm
you're feeling murderous
hungry.
rage. You need to come
I'm
down and go
hungry.
outside.
I'm
Courtney,
hungry.
Courtney, I am your
hungry.
brother.
I don't have a card. Maybe Dollcraft book.
I
All right.
also would just like to say thank you so much to everyone in the comments and everyone on the Coven for wishing me a very happy birthday. My birthday is actually on Sunday, but I love being able to celebrate with you guys.
Can
We love
sing
you.
birthday? Can
I
we
love
sing
you guys.
birthday?
No, we
Okay.
can maniacally laugh. instead
Okay,
of
that's what we're doing next. Maniacal laugh. That is VelociPastor, whatever it's called, worthy. 1, 2, 3.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh.
laughing.